Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my Scorpio October 2019 horoscope forecast, part 1 of 2. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Anyway, first thing up is, as far as October goes, the Sun will be in Libra from the 1st until the 23rd, so the 12th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, there could be a strong concentration of energy, focus, and attention on restrictions, limitations, hidden adversaries, self-undoing, solitude, seclusion. Um, Also, at this time, perhaps some other things could be an aunt or an uncle. Anything that could be 12th house related, clandestine affairs in some cases as well, sometimes even mental illness and isolated cases, even hospitalization. Now, given that this is a Libra energy, this may be done with a lot of balance, a lot of fairness, a lot of even distribution, equilibrium, so to speak. Um, a lot of refinement and really in a way that's very, I mean, a lot of these dealings may be very harmonious, and this energy going with this energy very harmonious manner, especially with matters with an aunt or an uncle or people prominent in your private life. A lot of compromise and negotiation, perhaps in connection with that. Now, in some cases, this could shine the light, so to speak, on a Libra hidden adversary. It could be a Libra Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Libra characteristics, and could even shine light in some isolated cases on some Libra type mental illness. It could be one of those things, I don't know what you call it, if there's like some like compulsive need for relationships, or it could be one that is tied into a strong aversion to that. I guess it'd be like a social anxiety type disorder. But anyway, but this could be very isolated. And anyway, in some cases, it could also be an eye limitation, because remember that the Sun rules either the left or right eye depending on gender, and it could just be just a general lack of balance and focus between one and the other. So anyway, next thing up. As far as October goes, the Sun will be in Scorpio from the 23rd until the 31st. So the first house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, there could be a strong focus, concentration of energy and attention on the self, appearance, one's outlook on life, first impressions, a grandmother, even people that may have been prominent in one's early childhood, new beginnings, the physical body, and especially if this is actually hitting one's first house in one's natal chart. Now, given that this is Scorpio energy, this could be done with a lot of emotional intensity, a lot of passion, a lot of willful, intractable energy, also with a lot of probing, a lot of incisiveness. It could also be about going beyond subterfuge and superficiality, especially with people that are first house related, such as perhaps one's grandmother, and even people that were prominent in one's early childhood. Now, in some cases too, this could be, I mean, it could be a time where you're going to have a much more surfite and abundance of energy, a lot of vitality, but also too could shine the light on a Scorpio physical matter, especially if this is actually hitting the first house in one's chart. It could be something with the pelvic area, reproductive, regenerative system, if the regenerative system actually, if there is a thing, but you understand what I'm saying, the bladder, anything that could be Scorpio related. So, and anyway, the next thing up. There will be a full moon in Aries on October 13th, so the sixth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, in some cases, this could be about the completion or culmination of an Aries type employment. It could be something with firefighting or welding, carpentry, or something. It could be something with leadership or management. It could be something connected with doing a profession that requires like a lot of courage. It could be like working in repossessing vehicles, or it could even be something with a combative sport such as karate, boxing, or judo. Anything that could be Aries related, arson investigation. It could also be a time too where this could be the revelation or unveiling of some Aries type health related matters, such as something with the face or the head. This could also be a time too where you become somewhat tired, exasperated, or full of an overly combative or argumentative, disputatious, outspoken, overly aggressive, pushy. It could be an aunt or an uncle, someone prominent in your daily routine. It could be somebody that is prominent in your health life. This could also be, in some cases, this could be about the ending of, sixth house is about service. This could also be about some service in which you were always really, really in a hurry, or doing things, without doing the service without a lot of hesitation or a lot of procrastination for others. And this is a time too where this is a very strong, could be a strong outpouring of very acrimonious, angry type emotions, and it could be at sixth house people, or might be directed to you from a sixth house person at this time as well. Next thing up, there will be a new moon in Scorpio on October 27th. So the first house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, in some cases, this could be about the start of some Scorpio. It could be like the Scorpio new beginning that could be done with a lot of abundance and survive energy. It could be something like with locksmithing, something like with the occult, astrology, supernatural investigation. It could be something with psychology or psychiatry, something with transformation such as rebuilding vehicles. It could even be the beginning process of really transforming the physical body in some cases, such as working out vigorously, or something that is connected again with transformation such as rebuilding vehicles. Some cases too, this could also be about the new Scorpio matter with the physical body might begin at this time, and especially if this is making an adverse aspect to your sun as well, and at the same time, let's say this is in the first house and it's making an adverse aspect to your sun, and I would even think even if it's making an inconjunct to your ascendant at this time. That could be, inconjunct to your sixth house cusp. That could also be another possibility. So where it could increase the propensity for some new Scorpio issue with the physical body. It could be something with the bladder or the pelvic area, the reproductive system, anything that could be Scorpio related. It could also be a time too for some of you, could be the rekindling of a Scorpio connection from your early childhood. It could be with a Scorpio sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Scorpio characteristics. Next thing up. Well, Mercury will be in Libra as far as October goes, from the 1st until the 3rd. So the 12th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. Well, you might find yourself at this time a little bit less loquacious than usual, Scorpio. Usually pretty quiet anyway, but even more so at this time, even more secretive. This could be about communications, about relationships in private at this time, and also having balanced communications, ones that are very tactful, diplomatic with an aunt, an uncle, or an uncle, people that are prominent in your private life. It could also be talking about Libra type limitations such as relationship issues, or being able to just find that balance and equilibrium in your life in general, and with just general activities or what have you, and maybe even having that peace and harmony that you might maybe desiring. Could also be a time, as I've stated in previous videos, Mercury can also be about siblings. This could be about Libra, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Libra traits that might be figuratively driving you crazy at this time. And sometimes this could even be about some issues like with the hands or the arms. Mercury can be associated with that. So anyway. Well, next thing I want to get to, okay, well, as far as October goes, Mercury will be in Scorpio from the 3rd until the 31st. So the first house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, Well, this could manifest in a number of ways. One way, this could be about a lot of communication about yourself, about Scorpio characteristics such as being very incisive, deep, um, being able to very transformative, transforming nature, being able to go through subterfuge and superficiality, having a lot of probity, being very incisive, investigative, anything that could be Scorpio related, secretive. It could also be at this time you might be more loquacious and talkative than usual, which could be a surprise to others since we are talking about Mercury and the first house. Hold on a moment, people. Scorpio's demeanor can often be very quiet, and that's why it could be a surprise to them. Now, in some cases, this could be uh, an issue. The first house is the physical body, especially. If this is actually hitting the first house on one's natal chart, there can be some issues with the hands that might require maybe more research. That might be more probing energy, more so than what you might have thought, because we are talking about Scorpio. Scorpio related issues or maybe some problems with the hands due to actually maybe literally digging deep into the ground as an example. But anyway, this could also be in some cases too, as I've stated before, that Mercury can also be about siblings. This could be about Scorpio sun, moon, or ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Scorpio traits that might be very instrumental in new beginnings. Matters with your physical body. It could also be also making a first impression on others, especially if you're going on some interview, and really just getting maybe more involved, more in your personal life, more so just really more about yourself, and really matters really strongly connected with you more so than usual. And anyway, this could also be talking about Scorpio new beginnings, such as locksmithing or some kind of investigation, forensics, something, maybe starting something in a death-like profession, such as beginning some work as a coroner or mortician or funeral director, astrology, occult, supernatural, anything that could be Scorpio related. So those are some ways that this could manifest at this time. So anyway, well, the next thing up is Venus will be in Libra as far as October goes, from the 1st until the 8th. So the 12th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, at this time, you might find yourself in a clandestine affair at this time, and in some isolated cases, it could be with a Libra sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Libra characteristics. Could also be a time too where you might be feeling some restrictions in love, and maybe then not being love, maybe not people not being fair to you, that someone you may be in a romantic connection with, or not, if you're not feeling really that justice or that fairness with this person at this time. And it could be a time too where also, in some cases, this could also be about monetary restrictions at this time, since we're talking about Venus and the 12th house, and it might be some restrictions in trying to balance that budget, so to speak. So it could be maybe due to money spent on Libra-related things. It could even be with a relationship, or even buying something connected with the law. It could be legal expenses. It could be even just anything Libra related. A tennis racket, something with gymnastics. Those are Libra related items, I would say, because they are connected with Libra sports, such as, tennis and gymnastics can be about balance, but this is isolated. I'm just throwing this out there. And also, too, at this time, you might feel this could be about also a time where you may value balance, fairness, harmony, peace, refinement, charm, diplomacy, tact in your private connections at this time. And also too, about you might be spending a fair amount of money, and also and also spending a fair amount of money perhaps on helping those less fortunate than yourself, such as the impoverished, the oppressed, the homeless, or hungry. Last but not least, Venus will be in Scorpio as far as October goes, from the 8th until the 31st. So the first house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, this could manifest in a number of ways. Well, first off is you may connect with if you're unattached Scorpio, you may connect with a Scorpio sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply one that embodies a Scorpio characteristics that might be very instrumental in new beginnings. It may be somebody like a childhood sweetheart, someone you knew from your early childhood. It could also, be somebody that might help you in terms of making like a first impression on somebody, and also might be playing a role in your physical body to some degree, such as getting your body in shape, where there could be transforming it, working out vigorously, or what have you. So, and the thing about this too is this could also be about a lot of self-love now, where you love a lot of your Scorpio characteristics, such as being incisive, passionate, probing, even the secretive qualities, even able to be shrewd and cunning, getting to the bottom of things. Really anything that could be Scorpio related, being resourceful. So, and also too, at this time, this could be about a time where you really, you're talking about, Venus and Scorpio and the first house. It could be about the enjoyment of making a transformation physically at this time, or maybe even your outlook to some degree. And it could also be a time where you value being very probing, incisive, resourceful, being able to go through superficiality and subterfuge, and being able to do so perhaps with matters with people you knew from your early childhood, a grandmother, perhaps people that may have been prominent in new beginnings for you, or shaping your outlook to some degree, and maybe even people that have really had concern or figured strongly in maybe even matters physically with you. So anyway, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my Scorpio October 2019 horoscope forecast, part 1 of 2. And stay tuned next time, where I'll be giving you my Scorpio October 2019 horoscope forecast, part 2 of 2. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person astrologically speaking based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.